I am here with Wes Koczka, the Associate Vice President, International and Chief Executive Officer of TRU World Global Operations. Thanks for joining me, Wes.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you very much for inviting me.
So, Thompson Rivers University, or TRU World specifically, maybe if you could tell us a little bit about, for those people that don't know, what TRU World does in relation to Thompson Rivers University, where it's come from, where it is today.
Thompson Rivers University has established a central location or an entity called TRU World. Its mandate is to coordinate the development of international opportunities for our university. So it's a centralized approach at our university. Thompson Rivers University took a centralized approach about 17 years ago, and today, in fact, you have the 18th anniversary of our international days. Currently, we have about 1,450 students on campus. 18 years ago, we started with a few hundred.
That's 1,450 international students?
Exactly.
Out of the whole student body?
That's right. And so you have a student body of 10,000 students. You have another 11,000 students, 12,000 students studying electronically. But you have 1,400 international students studying from 83 different countries around the world. They have come to our university specifically for an undergraduate or a graduate education. Then we have another 1,000 or so international students registered at our university offshore. So you have 1,450 located in Kamloops. You have another 1,000 students located in China and India. So in those 17 years, you've gone from a few hundred to thousands of students studying at our university, all centralized, directed through the office of TRU World.
And I would imagine that that's a very significant portion of TRU's revenue that helps to expand the university, that helps to keep things growing from that perspective?
Both. I mean, it's not only revenue, but it's student population. Currently, the international student population it comprises approximately 19 or 20% of the total student population at our university. The revenue that we create is not only important to our university, but to our community. We recently completed a new economic impact analysis for our university. In total, those 1,400 students generate to our community at large about $88 million worth of economic spin-off. It's called a multiplier effect. So you have students, every student who comes to our university typically will spend about $30,000. $15,000 is tuition. $2,500 is capital expenditures. That's bicycles, mopeds, cars. And another $11,500 is spent on living, food, walking around money, entertainment, that type of thing. So when you have 1,450 students on a campus, the economic impact to our university and our community is really significant.
And then, of course, that money that's spent in the community is then spent by the people that respent and recycled within the community itself. So with regards to marketing the university, I would imagine that the international students are a significant focus moving forward, and Thompson Rivers University would like to grow and see the growth of the international student body more and more year over year. What are you doing to make that happen?
Well, the university has a plan for international growth. That plan is presently before the vice presidents of administration and the vice president of academic. There's a panel or committee formed at our university to help transition and plan for future growth. If we're at 1,400 or 1,500 students right now, where do we want to be in 5 years? And the response to that is I'd add another 1,000 international students. So if we add another international student of 1,000, approximately 1,000, we need to answer a few questions. Where are they going to sleep? Where are they going to study? who's going to teach them, and what are we going to teach them. So those things are all being worked out through an advanced planning committee or a growth committee. And we have to be careful of creating increments of growth that we can be successful with. To put in 1,000 students immediately would be very challenging. But if we put in 250 students at a time, we can plan for successful integration of those additional students.
And then, of course, the community themselves can catch up and plan to be able to accommodate them and service them and so on and so forth.
And then we want to make sure that those students who are joining us are distributed throughout our university. We do not want to have students concentrated in any one particular faculty. We don't want to skew it to one particular faculty. We want to have a nice, robust international student population with diverse learning needs from our various faculties.
And so right now we have something going on in the university that we've been noticing called International Days. Yeah. Maybe you could tell us a little bit about what International Days is all about.
International Days, as I mentioned before, started 17 years ago with just a couple of events during one particular day. The purpose of it remains essentially the same over that period, to celebrate the cultural diversity of the international students when they're coming to our university. And so you have individuals who are here, who are proud of their cultural heritage. They want to be able to present that and showcase that to their fellow students and to our community. And that's essentially what this International Days is about. There are speakers from all around the countries that are represented here in our university. So we have students, professors, and guest speakers who come for this particular occasion. They get a chance to showcase their cultural themes that they're interested in. It could be in music, or it can be in biology, it can be in arts and science or economic. There's also opportunities for them to showcase their heritage in a more artistic manner. There's films from India, there's films from China, there's films from Morocco. There's a chance for them to explain to them from the student's perspective, I'm a student from abroad, and I came to your university, and this has really transformed my life. And that transformational experience is common to all university students. And the thing that transforms their experience is the cultural interaction with their community, the interaction with our professors at our university, and the interaction with the community. You combine those three dimensions into an individual over a period of time, 1 semester or 2 semesters. They go back to their local communities, and they're ambassadors for our university and for our province and for our country. It's a tremendous experience for our university, and we want to continue to become a destination university that provides a wonderful learning experience for these international students, cultural understanding for the various ethnic groups that are here, and put that into an experience that creates a global-minded citizen, so that individuals who complete our university go out and give testimonial about the learning, the cultural experience at TRU.
That's absolutely wonderful. Now, I know that a lot of our viewers are small business people and entrepreneurs with the Race to a Million show. And I know that something that is of quite a bit of interest, especially to local small businesses and entrepreneurs, is looking at the international markets. A lot of them have had maybe an eye to the international markets, looking at expanding their businesses and the potential of expanding into the international markets. I know that you, in your position of promoting this university internationally, have spent a lot of time in the international markets. Recently come back from a trip, I think.
Absolutely. I'm just getting back and going again.
So maybe is there some words from the wise that you would have for maybe some international business want-to-bes in our market?
Yeah, there is some words from the wise, but I don't necessarily know that I'm the wise one. But I'll give you some suggestions from my experience. Recently, Venture Kamloops took a group of entrepreneurs from our community and went to China. Essentially what they wanted to do is export or identify opportunities for import. Mm-hmm. What we did to help those individuals was provide a contact that we were very comfortable with and we had worked with for many, many years in China. That individual participated with them on the tour and helped them link from one city to another, served as a translator for the discussions with those various business opportunities. Without that, you are risking the chance for your success. If you're going to venture out into any international market, you have to be, let me use this as an example. In real estate, they say the only thing that's important is location, location, location. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. In international business or in international education business, it's validate, validate, validate. Make sure that you understand and who you're visiting understands what is the purpose of your visit. Because if you don't have that really finely tuned, it's more of a vacation than a business opportunity. The recommendations that I have for them, for individuals who are thinking about venturing out internationally, is validate, validate, negotiate, never, ever sign a bad business deal, because if it's easier to say no than to litigate yourself out of a difficult deal that you have signed. Business is not in operation to break even. They're in the business to make money. Mm-hmm. And if you do not understand the details of your contract, don't sign it. And the other theme that they have to understand is that if you have a contract to get into a business, you better have a clause in there that enables you to get out of business.
Right.
Because if you do not include that, then you're going to be at risk.
So definitely be very litigious.
Not necessarily litigious. Validate, and that is make sure you do your due diligence. Due diligence will prevent the legal aspect in advance.
Okay. And then also
communicate, emails, electronically, Skype, and because once you're on that plane and you're flying overseas, everything is put in place. Everything you have pre-planned is going to unfold. But unfortunately, not all things unfold as you had planned. And so you have to be able to work with and expect the unexpected. The times may change, the individuals may change. And then when it comes down to the final point of negotiating, that's when you have to be firm enough to be able to actually walk away from a deal if you're not comfortable with it.
Right.
Don't sign that deal that you're not comfortable with.
So plan the aspects of your international business transaction at least more than you would spend time planning your vacation itself.
Absolutely. Or else you're going on a vacation rather than a business development trip.
Right. And I understand also that it's important to, when you're going into the international markets that you're unfamiliar with, to make sure that you have someone that can lead you through the cultural experience and make sure that you stay away from the faux pas and the things that may not be an offense in your culture, but could be an offense in someone else's.
Yeah, I mean, there's little trigger things that you will become familiar with, and when we do business internationally. If you go to the United States and you're negotiating a business deal, it's not uncommon for those individuals to say, no, this is not going to work, and there's no offense taken. We're just, this business, it's the wrong time. Mm-hmm. That's easy. If you go to China, and if you go to Japan, or if you go to Saudi Arabia, those communications to you are sent in a much different manner. The Chinese may say to you, oh, we have a small problem. If you hear that phrase, a small problem, you're in trouble, because there is no small problem. If you're negotiating a business deal and you have a small problem, you know that's a signal to you that there is this deal is in trouble. If you go to, for example, Japan, different cultural environment to work in, there is very thoughtfulness on their part not to offend you, and so, but there is no in Japan.
Right.
And so what you will hear is silence. And so you have to understand the sensitivity of that. If you go to other countries, you have that same type of communication. And so when you're venturing into those countries, you have to be mindful of how your message is going to be communicated to you. And if you have somebody on site who can provide you with that type of guidance, it's a tremendous investment.
It's very important to make sure
exactly.
that you know the right people in the market, or reach out to your federal or provincial government bodies for introduction through trade commissioners and people like that.
Right now, we were invited by the Canadian Trade Commission commissioner in Bogota. Mm-hmm. We at our university have a wonderful water purification and treatment facility. When I was in Bogota, and I mentioned that to the Canadian Trade Commissioner, she invited our university, are you willing to come to a 4-country forum in which you'll get a chance to highlight the technological and the medical beneficial aspects of having a water purification plant? And so right now we have a dean down there, Dean Lindsay Langell, is in Colombia, Peru, and Chile, making a presentation on our water treatment purification plant. So that is a technology and a knowledge export that we're trying to connect with potential buyers in those 4 countries.
Wow, that's awesome. Now, before we leave, is there anything else that you think will be of value to our audience with regards to TRU World and the business of education internationally?
I mean, we benefit from the community in many regards. We have students living in our campus, and they live in university residence. But at the same time, we also have international students who are living with homestay families. Mm-hmm. Those individuals, we really appreciate the willingness of welcoming our international students. Those bonds between that student and the homestay family go on for years and years. Many of them continue to communicate after the student returns home. They're invited to weddings and stuff like that. So that international connection is really wonderful for us. We really appreciate the contributions that the business community makes to our university, whether it's in the form of providing pizza for our student meetings or with contributions to our student scholarships. That's really beneficial to us. We often engage the university. We try to engage the university and this community with this. The backdrop here, you'll see the flags in the background here. Those flags were carried by the school district 73 with Dr. Terry Sullivan's support, because there's an opportunity for us to work with the community, bring students who are not only interested in studying at the university but also at the school district. And we bring students in. Some are affluent, they can buy cars. Some are less affluent, they buy bicycles. Mm-hmm. Some choose to buy other things, and it's a wonderful benefit for our university and our community, I think.
Well, on behalf of the City of Kamloops, its business community and its residences, thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. Come back anytime you want.
I appreciate it. Wes Koczka, TRU World.